This is the Respawn Show. Welcome to the Respawn Show, where we show up late and we eat our breakfast at the Respawn Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Respawn Show.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers, we just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. Now, on with the show.
First of all, I didn't show up late, and second of all, my breakfast is on its way. Okay, so so let it get here first.
So now we've had our opening song. Should we start the show for real?
Yeah.
We shall.
Who wants to do introductions? Because I always do introductions. You could always do the introductions, couldn't you?
He already did the intro.
No, like who you are, who I am, and who he is.
Oh, I really should start thinking about like creative ways to introduce us.
Contributing to the show.
Well, no, I contribute. I just never contribute to the intro or the exit because that's like
Well, here's your chance, buddy. No,
but I don't have anything clever to say.
I've thrown you the ball. I've thrown you the ball. It's your go.
Okay.
Don't have to make
welcome to two hunters and a titan. No, to one hunter and a warlock and a titan. No, wait, that's not right. Two warlocks and a hunter. No, damn it. Two titans and a warlock. No, what's the other one? Two titans and a hunter.
Two turntables and a microphone.
Two turntables and a mic. Oh no, that's not. Okay, no, listen. Okay,
just stick with the three titans.
No, because that's not true.
Welcome back to the show with the worst armor in all the land.
Not yet. Soon, but not yet. But no, welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter podcast. This is a podcast where we attempt to talk.
You don't have to do all of that.
What intro are you talking about? Just the three of us?
Yes, that's what I said to you. Just introduce you, me, and him.
Okay, I'm
not the opening.
I'm
you do this.
I am no one Respawn's in real life. The leader of the Hunter Master Race, attempting to overthrow Zavala and his regime.
Keep it going.
And with me are my co-hosts, the British guy who his name is Nintendo Man sometimes. Other times it's Night Demon for those that don't know any better, and then Parody, who is if there was going to be a Titan that I would want on my team, that would be him until it wasn't. There you go.
God, that's the worst opening ever. So
we're going with it. Sounds great.
We won't let him do that ever again. So welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show with the Destiny fashion. I think this entire season is going to be about the fashion. It's not trials. It's not the new activities. It's all just the hideous level of fashion we've gone to. Bungie, I mean, we've had some bad looks in the past, but I have to commend you. You've gone above and beyond. Just
so I'm guessing
what is going on here.
You're a fan of the new Trials armor, then?
You mean the new old Trials armor? Yeah, it looks like the no. I'm more talking about the like.
I don't know about old because the old armor actually looked pretty decent.
All I can see is a turtle helmet. I don't know. We've got the already constantly memed Titan. I don't know. Like, woke up and put on some mismatched clothes in the morning and is kind of rocking some orange boots and things. I don't know what's going on there. And
I think that's the new Eververse armor. To be honest, from what I've heard.
No. If I mean, yeah, you're probably right. But I mean, if they're like, hey, here's who you can get,
Osiris themed Eververse armor.
We're not going to Eververse. Not going to see Eververse. Tess, sorry, you can go stand over there in the corner and think about what you've done because you're going to need to.
So last week we spoke at length about the director's cut and the Trials reveal. So I thought we'd just kind of quickly go back over some of the stuff that we missed.
No, we missed nothing. No,
it
was 3 hours. We couldn't have missed anything.
No way anything.
Don't believe you.
We missed a few details about Trials.
No, we didn't.
And I thought we'd. Yes, we did.
So.
We'd just go. You weren't here. You were only here for half of it.
I was here for the whole podcast. You just recorded a segment on a whole different time schedule.
See, you weren't here. So what I wanted to kind of roughly cover is, like Perry's already said, that the original Destiny 1 Trials armor is returning, and it's got some fantastic looks, very Egyptian themed. If you went around for Destiny 1, there was like, is it Anubis for the Warlock? So, and the Titan had like an eagle kind of helmet. And
it was a different Egyptian god.
Yeah, I don't know my Egyptian gods. And
that's okay.
And the hunter had a single eye.
That would be Ra, the Egyptian sun god.
Okay, so it's only the Titans that don't know what their armor is. Just
what else is new?
Yeah, right. You can't expect them to know anything besides punching. Punch hard, punch fast, punch often.
I'm quite glad that it's returning. It was some of the best looking armor from Destiny 1, and it's going to come back and look fantastic in Destiny 2. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think that's a complete lack of imagination. Don't get me wrong. I liked the Trials armor. I did. But it, again, just no imagination. Excuse me?
Do you actually think we're going to see any of this armor, like, on our characters? So don't have a lot of thoughts, because I'm going, it's going to be there.
No.
And it'll be in the tower waiting for me one day when I will never obtain it.
I will reach out to somebody and pay them to get me to the tower. The lighthouse, sorry. To give it to the lighthouse.
You may need to pay to the tower too in next season, because they're saying they're fixing the travel time. So I think they're just going to quadruple them, so you can actually go and work a full day, come back, and then you'll be in the tower.
I still stick by what I said previously about just don't even worry about the tower. Let us access everything from space, and if you're going to load us into the game, load us directly into the tower, because that's where we got to go anyway. None of this we're going to free float through orbit crap and then have to go to the tower anyway. Just either take us there or get rid of it.
And just delete all the ships, because they're pointless anyway. Just teleport us, it'll be fine. We were already building a Stargate, and then we got rid of it. There's extra Stargates around, I'm sure. There's some old designs to put those into effect. We'll travel that way. Just hijack the Vex gates. They already built the network. It'll be fine. It'll all work out.
You say that, but I love the Stargate TV series, man.
I do too. I love it deeply. That's why I secretly hope that there's some sort of like secret Stargate crossover. They were going to build a whole Stargate game and then didn't.
Well, I mean, they do have everybody from Firefly and freaking Serenity inside the game, so why not, just carry it on to Stargate,
So getting back to the armor.
Oh, there you go. So Horus is our Titan armor, shown as a falcon. Given the bird and Titan helm, it has a nice little beak aesthetic going on. So Horus, Anubis, and Ra.
You actually looked it up, didn't you?
Sure did.
Yeah,
nice.
But what I found it's quite nice to have the Destiny 1 armor back in Destiny 2, because one, you've got a lot of people that like that armor and wanted it in Destiny 2. And two, you've got a lot of people that didn't play Destiny 1 and have access to that armor. So it's nice for those people to actually get that armor in Destiny 2. So never mind these people that are moaning that it's just, rehashed content. At the end of the day, we're getting loads of new stuff with new PvE stuff that's coming in. So it doesn't really matter if some of it's refreshed and rehashed and reused, especially maps, armor. As long as they're kind of changing it slightly, they've done some work to it, don't you think?
Again, I'm never going to have any of it, so
they would have to work they would have to do work to it to bring it into this game. So that goes without really saying anything.
Yeah, to make it Armor 2.0 at least.
Yeah.
But the fact that it looks about the same, I mean, it's a good looking set. Why mess with what works?
I mean, I liked the Trials armor we had from Trials of the Nine better than the Trials of Osiris.
I think you're in the minority for that.
I don't even remember what it looked like.
It's
or
white
that it existed
and weird looking.
Oh yeah. Had the whole 9 theme going. The 9, which we've also, put in the corner with Aldrin to think about what they've done apparently.
But it looks like it's going to be Saint 14 commentating our Trials matches at the weekends. So that's going to be quite cool.
That I'm into. That I'm excited about. I want an angry Russian man screaming at me to do better. And he will be.
And the 3 returning maps from Destiny 1 that we're getting are Anomaly, Cauldron, and Exodus Blue. And Exodus Blue was a PlayStation 3, 4 exclusive for a year. And then it came over to Xbox and we got use of it. So it was quite nice. So to help with these new maps that are coming into the game, and anybody that doesn't know what they were like from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, I've got a couple of videos for you to check out. So Sony had an exclusive walkthrough video on Exodus Blue going through what they were getting over the top of Xbox. So they go through a nice little walkthrough and tell you all about what the map is and things like that. And then True Vanguard has got a trial strats video on Exodus Blue because undoubtedly that map is going to be used for trials because it was one of the good for close quarters 3v3 and 6v6. So he's got a video for that. Cauldron, which is the moon map. We've got a first look video with My Name is Bife, who went to Bungie and recorded some footage way back a couple of years ago, same as the others, really. And then Miss 5000 Watts has got a tips and tricks video for trials again on Cauldron. And then Anomaly, which is our moon map. We've got a walkthrough by Noxus323. And then we've got a tips and tricks for trials by True Vanguard again. And I have to give a special mention to Encooch because I was going to include the Encooch video until I actually watched the whole thing, and it was quite funny.
I was going to include it until I did.
No.
So why did you
with all the
not
100 links
it?
we have at the end of every show, he would just put it in there because that's what he does.
No. Right.
He has strict quality controls that have to be met. Apparently, Encooch wasn't there.
The only quality controls he has is it can't be Rick Cactus.
No, right? So Encooch, right, has put this video out there saying simple tricks for Anomaly for trials. I was like, okay, brilliant. This would be something that I can then relate back to people to go and watch, see if they enjoy it. So he says simple tricks or simple tip. Simple tips. The first words out of his mouth are, he can't give you simple tips and tricks for this map.
Okay, what you need to do is jump in, do a 360 snipe in the air while hunter dodging and reloading your primary weapon. Like, no, sir.
So he then goes through, this map's got loads of lanes. Everywhere you look, there's lanes. So, the best advice that he could give you is to have a shotgun. And he's going, you go crouch around corners, hide, do this, do that. The whole entire gameplay is him sniping. I'm like, this is the best video to give to people. I'm sorry, Encooch.
Setting you up for failure.
If it's a shotgun video, do shotgun footage, not sniper footage of you sniping people's heads off and telling people they can't snipe on that map. It doesn't make any sense.
I think
see, his plan is, I'm going to tell you all to do this. Meanwhile, I'll be over here doing that. So while you're sitting in that corner with a shotgun, he's going to wait for you to peek and then snipe your face off.
So yeah,
I see his plan.
I found that funny. I will include it in the list of videos, but it's not one to kind of take away tips and tricks from. So
yeah, get good scrub seems to be the tip and the trick. Yeah,
what you need is a shotgun so that I can shoot you with my sniper. That's what he's doing. He's setting himself up for success, and I can't blame him. Although that is a little sketchy.
Okay, I was just looking because again, I have to look up what the maps are because. Again, you think 5 years in, I'd remember what the Anomaly I remember because I had that big rotating, cube in the middle, cuboid thing in the middle. And Cauldron, I had to look up because I was like, I think I remember that one. That's the one where I've spent so many games running frantically, sort of inside, outside, sort of in that like big loop along the platforms, trying to stay alive or trying to get a res. And I like those two, Anomaly and Cauldron, both, because there's just 1,000 doors and 1,000 hiding places and 1,000 ways to get shot from. I have such memories of just running frantically on those maps, again, trying to get a res or trying to get away, or just waiting for that super to come up just a little bit more so I could try to shut down whoever was after me. I'm not sure those are good memories or bad memories, but there's definitely like those two are like sealed in my brain as like Trials map memories.
Yeah. And speaking of Trials, if anybody's got some clips that they have from Destiny 1 of them doing something fantastic, in the TWAB this week, they have given you a link that we'll put in the show notes for you to upload any, like a clip of the footage of you doing something fantastic, and they'll retweet it or post it next week, and you could be in with a chance of the movie of the week. So that's for next week's TWAB. I'll mention that. Do you guys think that we're going to get the emotes that we had in the opening of Trials of the 9 back again, where you could do like your taunting emote and it went through what that person was rocking, what the loadout was, and that?
Honestly, I hope we do.
Or do you think it's going to be the original Trials? Like you just stand there with the flag and you're opposite each other and that's it. You don't get to see any information. There's no emotes.
I'm gonna be so hurt if that's the case. But no, that was the funniest part about Trials of the 9 is and everybody had the same goofy dance where the guy had like the thumb on his forehead doing the finger wiggle and doing the dumbass little, I guess, Russian dance or something like that. Yeah, that. And it was that was hysterical all the time, man. And it was great. So I honestly hope
I'm sure Parody had his Frozen Clan dance going.
Mm-hmm. The outer dance, or my guess is that's what they're going to bring back. Partially, my brain is going, it's already coded in the game when they had Trials of the 9, so I'm going to guess they're going to say, "Hey, here's what we've got. Let's bring that back." And that was again one of the few things about Trials of the 9 that people really enjoyed was I think it would use like whatever you had like that in your first or that top emote slot, like that's what it would play during the intro. And it's absolutely worth it. I would love to be able just like to pick one of the 4 emote while we're being introduced. But I don't know. And I remember people complaining about this too in Destiny 1 is it was fun to see those, the intros, and we laughed our heads off doing it because we aren't very good and didn't play that much Trials. But if you're playing a lot of Trials, it's a lot of time you're sitting and, watching those dances go.
Okay. Good argument. I would still prefer the dances though.
Yeah, no, agreed. I'm just saying, wait for the complaints of this takes too long. We have to sit through all this. Why can't you skip this? Because people don't remember anything.
Mm. And I hope that we have the Trials bounties come back as well, so that every person can actually gain something out of the matches. I think that was one of the best things about Trials when they introduced that just anybody could then go into it and do the bounties and get some kind of reward from it. You didn't have to go flawless. You didn't have to do 5 games or 7 games to get such and such. It was just, it gave everybody the opportunity to just go in and play and enjoy themselves. And I think that's probably the best advice that we can kind of give going into Trials next week and for the foreseeable future is just go in and enjoy yourself. Get a couple of mates, go in. Doesn't matter if you lose or you win. It's it's all good fun. And don't rage quit over everything. It's all going to just be a lot of fun, to be honest. And I think Parody and I were talking to, was it the Bergen on Twitter, and he was asking about what weapons to use in comp and things like that. And I've heard a lot of podcasts and a lot of YouTube videos going on about their Trials strats and what weapons they recommend. But the best advice is use whatever you're comfortable with. If you are like a god with a certain weapon, it may not be the best weapon in the meta at this point in time, but it may be the one that you are a god with. Just go with it. At the end of the day, you know what your skill level is, and you know what you can do with that weapon if you play with it enough. And
initially I was going to make a joke about, bring whatever you want. That way it's easier for me to kill you. But he does make a good point, because people make fun of me for taking Steel Feather Repeater inside the Crucible, and I just eat faces with it. It's just so good, or I'm so good with it, however you want to put it. But, people are always like, oh, you got an auto rifle. Yeah, because it works.
Yeah. I mean, that was sort of our advice to him. If you're married, if I'm married to my bygones and my retold tale, bring those in with you, because just because you know if you're stepping into comp or trials and think, oh, I have to get a hand cannon. That if you want to run a hand cannon, find a hand cannon you're decent with. Find a hand cannon you've practiced with. Get one that has got overflow on a spare ration, so you've got 1,000 bullets. So you can use it like a pulse rifle or a scout rifle. Use what you're going to enjoy, because if I'm walking with a hand cannon and I've never touched hand cannons, or if I'm trying to grab a sniper rifle and I never snipe, I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna be good with it. Use what you're good with, and if there's something a little bit better you want to practice with, and go into comp, or go even just play Iron Banner, or just play Control, whatever. Just play something and get if you want to get better with hand cannons, don't do it in trials. Don't do it in where there's stakes. Just go play with it, because the more you play with the gun, or the type of gun, the better you'll get with it.
So, actually, this is where I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to tell you, yes, by all means, learn how to use a weapon while you're in trials. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, I was getting deleted this week by one of those blue weapons, the Vosling 3 or something. My God, this hunter he had such control over this blue weapon. He was just deleting everybody. He was top of the leaderboard. He was bouncing all over the place.
What kind of gun? What kind of weapon is it?
It's an auto rifle.
Auto rifle? Okay.
Yeah. So it's the primary Voslin 2 or 3. I can't remember now, but I know it's a blue rifle from the name of it. But yeah, he was fantastic with that weapon, and he just completely destroyed people. And one thing I know that a lot of people did in Destiny 1 was they went into Rumble, and they practiced a lot in Rumble, because Rumble gave them the kind of confidence and the skill to go for the 1v1s, or sometimes it'd be a 2v1, because you never know who's going to be around that corner. So you could always practice in Rumble. I mean, those games don't really matter. It's not a very competitive area at this point in time. I mean, a lot of people just use it to practice and brush up on their gun skills, and just use it to win those 1v1 engagements. Yeah. I don't know what you guys do to practice.
That's much better advice, because I kind of forgot Rumble even existed in the game entirely. So Rumble's a much better idea, because then you're not having six people on the other team to deal with. Your odds of a 1-on-1 or 1v1 engagement or 2v1 will be a lot higher, which is what you'll see in trials. Go play Rumble if you want to actually practice in like a trials like environment without a team. And again, if you have a team you want to go in with, go just play together. Just spin up games and work on playing with your team. Because sometimes, I mean, if you don't have anybody, just go play Rumble, play alone. But if your half of trial success is communication and telling people, okay, not just you got killed, but you got killed from where did you go down, and communicating to your team, here's what happened, here's what they've got left, here's where they're going, and trying to give the rest of your team those call outs. And I know Trials Report, and I know there's another Reddit community that I'm drawing a blank on right now. But if you go to Destiny the game, I'm sure they have links to it. That we'll do each week. We'll do call out maps for each of the trials maps. So I don't know if they're going to have it be one map. When trials started, it was like one map each week, all weekend long. It was one map over and over again. So I don't know if there'll be one map or rotating, but they've got call outs for all of those maps. So if you are actually interested in trying to get a team together and playing with it, sort of learn the call outs, jump into private games and being okay, this is what we're calling this area. And even if you don't use the official call outs, quote unquote, what the community puts up, figure out your team's own call out. So if I say, hey, I'm down, if you're using, like, I tend to use control call outs because I'm terrible at remembering what things are actually called. Hey, I'm over here on A over B, A, B, and C is sort of how I orient myself on a map.
So one thing they did do from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 is they actually made sure that they labeled the areas. So when you're running from one area in a Crucible map to another, you'll see I think it's the top left corner, it will tell you what area you are in as well. So if you're in a specific area and you kind of get used to these maps, you can say I'm in such and such part of the map, and they are roughly over in another area of the map. So you could use what's actually on screen as well.
I'm so glad that you have enough time during a trials match to look at other parts of your screen to read names and stuff. I'm focused on my sights and my corners, man. I'm just hoping I don't get killed. And here Night Demon is just taking a casual stroll around a freaking trials map.
I have so much hope for next week when we try. And I'm down in such and such area, and Respawn's going, I can't find you. I'm tucked around a corner hiding.
I watched the sniping video, and so I've got my shotgun tucked around a corner.
Where you went down at? Oh man, I went down here
and on my revoker this week, so I can use my here's how to use your shotgun sniper rifle video.
Yeah,
right.
But I think that was all the kind of little bit of information that I thought we'd need to kind of go over for trials. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up or say?
No, I'm excited to jump back into it and just sort of see how it plays. And again, I know we mentioned it last week. I'm hoping that maybe this will suck some of the air out of the competitive community, especially on the weekends when Trials is up, that if you're working on a gun and comp, that maybe all those Trials players will be over playing Trials if it takes off, and comp will be a little easier. At least early on, there won't be that many people playing it, and they won't have quite figured it all out. So sort of like if you're going for anything early in the season, like if you haven't gotten your trying for your Lunas or whatever, do that early in the season, because I think you might have a little more success before things really get going and people really figure it all out on the comp side.
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention that they did mention in the TWAB, so we won't go over it again later on Respawn, is that the power will be enabled for the first week of Trials with the artifact.
Yay.
But they don't think that a lot of people will spend the time grinding in Lost Sectors and getting their light up on their artifact. They think that more people would just get their light up normally. So hopefully it won't be an issue in the first week. They will monitor it, but unfortunately they won't be able to get the patch across in time. So it'll be there after the first week. I think
you need to not even worry about the patch. Stop trying to patch light level, Bungie. Just leave it be. Leave it alone.
They'll sort it out later. So yeah, so for the first weekend, you will be able to use the power from the artifact as well as the power that you've increased over those 3 days.
All right, everybody, this week and next week, save every single bounty you've got. All of them. I don't care what it is. Save it.
We did that last week, and that doesn't count. You don't get anything really from bounties apart from XP.
Well, if you didn't record freaking half the podcast when I wasn't there at a different time than we agreed upon, then I'd know that you said that, huh?
It was in the bit that you were in.
Lies.
It was.
Nope.
So, yeah, so should we move on? We had a video and a website or a webpage go up detailing Season of the Worthy. And the video or the trailer for the next season gave us some tasty insight into what's actually going to be coming. So I've taken a couple of screenshots of the trailer just for us to kind of quickly discuss.
All 40 of them. No, okay. Not like the last time where you're like, I have a couple of screenshots. Here's my 80-page PowerPoint presentation I'm going to present to you, which is the trailer just in flipbook form.
Oh my God, he's not lying though.
Yeah. Well, no. The first one we sort of talked about that shot of the three guardians with their ghosts, standing there, and the hunter looking kind of beefy and hunterish, like he just hit the gym. The warlock, like, look at my fancy coat, and the Titan being like, "Hey guys, I'm here. I did it. I Titan good." Yeah, no, he's a real derpy. Like this Titan. Okay, if there were ever a Titan that needs to be doing the otter dance, this is that Titan. Whoa. I mean, look at this poor guy.
Look at what poor guy.
He's clearly frozen material.
The problem is that doesn't really make very good podcasting material. Going, look at this picture. It doesn't. You'll notice it when you go through the trailer. It just looks really weird that the warlock is center stage and you've got the Titan and the hunter standing next to him, but it's like the character models are on the wrong side, kind of thing. But hey ho.
I'll just say this is the sveltest, beefiest hunter I've ever seen, and I'm not sure this warlock I'm not sure this Titan has ever punched anything a day in his life. That's all.
Wow. I was blown aback by how you're talking about that Titan. You don't know what he's done with his life. You don't know how many people he's had to punch. Maybe he's like that because he's traumatized. Did you ever stop to think about that? Huh?
No, because I don't think about him. He's not real.
I think what would have been really nice is that when the reset hit, that we suddenly got this trailer in game. It came up very much like the Rasputin Osiris trailer that we got like a couple of weeks back. So it just kind of pops up on your screen rather than it being released on the website or on YouTube first and then the webpage going live. I think it would have been quite interesting to see this suddenly pop up in game. And what do you guys think? I mean, how have you got any feelings about the video or trailer? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
Did you watch it?
I want my I just want my Autobots to roll out. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for those Autobots that the Warmind is gonna spawn and help us take over the world and blow up this giant ship headed towards us. But really, if we don't blow up the giant ship, does it destroy the tower again, and then we're right back into the beginning of D3? Is that how D3 starts? We've lost the tower again to the giant almighty that crashes into it, and they say, okay, you can pick 4 armor pieces and 4 weapons to take with you. Let's go into D3.
Or what do you reckon if we kind of we divert the ship and it actually crash lands somewhere else and destroys the landscape of, say, the EDZ and
the moon? We take out the moon.
We take out the moon, yeah. No, but say if it destroyed like the EDZ and then we had to have a whole complete different area like we had with Siva in Destiny 1 and had that whole new part of the Cosmodrome open up.
Every time
it would be quite interesting if that's
makes me feel bad because I missed that. I loved that whole DLC, man.
Yeah, that would kind of be a nice, again, they want to push the world forward. That would be sort of a nice way to push the world forward. Like, hey, no, we had this cataclysmic event that actually means something, that actually did something, which all of these events is like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, yeah, but if it does, so what? Like, I would kind of welcome something that actually mattered, like actually had bearing in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Rasputin losing his mind and summoning all kinds of stuff? Something like that?
Yeah, if he loses his mind and summons things.
But yeah, I mean, going by that initial trailer, the clip that we got with Osiris confronting the Warmind, and now we're having to activate the Warmind, that's very ominous for what's actually going to be coming. We're actually going to go and turn all the buttons on and make it even more powerful. And Osiris is saying to him, what side are you on? I've seen the future. What the hell's happening here? And we're just going to make it worse. We are going to be the ones that activate all of this. So what's actually going to be coming further and down the line, basically? It's quite interesting to see, like, the little story beats that we're getting, even from what we're seeing in the trailer and that cutscene that we got.
I just want to know, it looked awfully Siva-ish, the design of the Warmind, little bots that pops up. I don't know. I just wonder if that's how that fits into all this, or if it does, or I don't know. I'm really excited to see where this goes, like this big sort of cataclysmic battle. I just hope that there's kind of something to it, because I'm tempering all my expectations about all these seasons. Like, here's the big story of the season. In 3 months, we won't even remember this happened. So I want to be excited, but sort of like Arc Week, I'm not yet.
Yeah. What I actually found interesting, I heard on, I think it was another podcast this week, and I want to say it was Fireteam Chat with IGN. They were saying there's a ghost story from Forsaken where there's a Guardian and his fire team that are actually on the Almighty trying to shut it down before it's kind of being disabled. And one of these Guardians is trapped in an infinite loop, very much like we had with one of the Cade stories. But he's kind of going so slow in this infinite loop, the ghost can't seem to get him out of it. And I thought that was quite interesting, that maybe that's part of the story, that we'll end up having to save this guy. Maybe. Just, I found it interesting that to hear it, that something had kind of been worked into these ghost stories or the lore way back when Forsaken was around.
Yeah. Yes, he's been planted that might actually lead to something, which we'll see. I want to be excited. I want to be like, yes, it'll be great, and I'm just not there yet. I'm really taking a wait and see approach. I mean, obviously, I'm going to play the season. I'm going to play the heck out of it. I'm going to do as much as I can do with it, but I just the story is the thing that's the least excited me in all these seasons. Even the C14, I really enjoyed that. But even then, it's like I knew sort of once that season ended, like I figured he would stick around because they probably wouldn't bring him back to just let him leave the next season. And I'm happy he'll be our Trials announcer, because I think that's just going to be amazing and gives us a whole new set of audio lines to enjoy and to listen to and to load onto my phone for alerts. So it's like, okay, you're keeping him around, but again, we built a Stargate, got rid of that. Aldrin still out there, big giant pyramid on the moon, which is apparently just going to sit there and just be cool and chill out for a while. It's like, I know they keep saying we're going to push the world forward, we're going to build this. It's like, okay, when? Like, it would just be nice to see some living, breathing story here.
Well, I think we've done quite well so far. It's slowly all the little threads are being sewn together, and I think every expansion that we're getting has a little bit more. And I know they're drip feeding because you don't want to rush things, but you also don't want to give too much away. So I think it's nice what they've actually been doing. And it was funny that you mentioned Aldrin from The Forsaken, that there's a shot in the trailer which I've pictured for you guys. It's the second one down that we're looking at, and it's either from speculation on Reddit and a couple of other podcasts and YouTubes that is Aldrin standing looking up at the Almighty, I'm guessing, coming crashing down. There's another person standing next to him with his hand up in the air. It's either Aldrin with his mask on, because at the moment he's hiding from the fact that he's Aldrin, or it's an exotic helmet. So you can pick whichever Spinfor hat you've got on. What do you think?
I mean, I hope they do bring Aldrin in, because, I mean, he did do a lot of bad things. But as I've said before, we do need a new Hunter Vanguard, right? And Aldrin won the bet, even if he didn't realize there was one going on. And he needs to be the new Hunter Vanguard, man. I'm sorry. It's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, they went to the point of, sort of saving this character and, rehabilitating his image a little bit to then put him on the back burner for a year. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem a little odd.
It seems it's like, you remind us this, he's not as bad as we think he is, but then just we've never seen him again. So maybe they're writing a story for him at some point.
They did make a big deal out of it too, didn't they? About the whole cutscene afterwards, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Aldrin!" Right? And then just fade to black.
He's chilling in the pyramid on the moon, along with the Exo Stranger. Just they're in there. They're having tea. They're playing cards. Just kind of waiting, waiting for their moment.
No, that was Adam Bray's sister. That's right. Never mind. Disregard.
So a couple of other pictures that I kind of wanted to go over quickly is there was quite an interesting one where there's a warlock wielding, I think it's a finisher of the two blades that normally a Cabal has, that he's doing a slam. But just behind him, there's kind of an electrical fence, much like I think it was the Fallen Saber Strike, that we had to kind of dodge these electrical fields, didn't we, to get down that long path. So that's a game mechanic that's maybe coming back into Destiny 2. That's quite interesting. There's another shot that I didn't include in here, but quite clear that there's a fallen captain, which is a champion, and not sure what kind of champion it is, barrier, overload, or unstoppable. But that's the one that the hunter does a spin finisher with his staff and hits the exploding shank straight into him and blows up. Parody's already mentioned the robot Warmind thing that looks like it's going to be shooting javelins out of it. So hopefully, I think that there'll be things that will be working with us, not against us, for the moment anyway. And
I just want to punch him and turn him into my friend like I could in D1.
Then we've got a shot of it looks like a Cabal-themed machine gun, and a couple of people have pointed out already that it looks like the Valista Arc big machine gun from Destiny 1 that the boss has. It looks like it could be one of the exotics that would be going on an exotic quest for this season. Quite interesting. And then we have some weapons.
Okay, so sidearm, hand cannon, auto rifle, and machine gun?
Yeah.
So these are the Seraph weapon set. And a shotgun has been seen on a Titan later on in the trailer. There's another shot of like the EDZ where we're going to get these kind of towers.
It looks, what raid was it where we had to go and like grab the balls and kill a guy, grab the ball, put it back into the tower? That wasn't quite this design, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was now.
But this looks like it's on
great podcast content.
Yeah,
there's like these Warmind kind of towers. Looks very much like an American football goalpost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On one side, and then on the other side there's kind of a flaming ball. But it looks like it's on that back end of the Winding Cove where the fallen dropship comes in, drops a couple of fallen, and then they run off into the little caves and the things there.
Yep.
I thought that was quite interesting that some of the worlds are actually going to be altered, or we're going to go to different places.
Well, they would have to
maybe.
alter worlds, wouldn't they? Because it'd be easier than just implementing a new planet that they don't have in the game yet.
Yeah, but I find it a bit disconcerting sometimes when they alter it and it wasn't something that was already there in the landscape. That, you know, maybe there's a rock there, and that was hiding underneath it. You know, maybe there'll be some explanation, but for them to kind of just go, "Oh, look, this is here," I'm like, I'm not sure about that. That's if it is.
No, it's been here the whole
Because we're
time. I
minds.
don't know what are you talking? It's always been here. What do you mean? What do you mean you
Yeah.
didn't see it before? It was always right there, man, plain as day. But
I'm just saying, I've driven by that spot in Arlington where, you know, Shield gigantic base that rises out of the water there, and I'm going, no, that river's just not that deep. There's no base under there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? It's like, you know, I've been here once or twice. That has not been a thing I've come across. Don't give me that. Unless it's like the drop ships where he just drops down like a platform. You know, he drops down one of those balls and it unfolds like those toys with the magnets on the bottom kids played with. Bakugan, I think. You know, he just sends down like a thing and it folds out like a Bakugan and it makes these platforms with these things in them. Who knows, man? I don't know.
I mean, something related to our Seraph Tower event. So who knows if it'll be like its own little part of the world, or if it'll be sort of be like the sundial. Like you go to an existing place and then it sort of takes you to where this event takes. I'm hoping the Seraph Tower event is more like EP, where you can sort of like stumble across it and you know, do it out in the world, than like Sundial, which is like its own set thing you had to like launch into. But also I liked having the matchmaking, so you had 6 people trying to do that versus like, you know, doing EP when it's you and 7 people just roaming around the world who don't want to do EP, and then you're struggling to complete it early on. So no, I've got mixed feelings either way, but I guess we'll see when it launches.
If they do that, and I hope they don't, but if they do that, they need to instill some sort of not a matchmaking per se, but allow you to bring all 9 people in a party to the planet to do the thing. Know what I mean?
Yeah, or 6 or whatever it is. Yeah, you know, if it's open world, have it be sort of like not Prison of Elders, but the thing you would go and stumble across, and like when you walked into the area, it started on and it would like put you into that instance.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that thing called?
Yeah, it was called the thing.
Cannot for the life of me remember what it was called now.
So, while he's looking that up, what part of the 12 are we on? Because
we're not on the 12 yet.
We haven't even got there yet?
No. So, I'll wait for Parody to...
Parody's running out of time. That's what he's saying.
No, I can't remember what it's called. It was, move on. We'll figure it out later, or we won't.
Okay.
People listening will be like, either I don't know what you're talking about, or they'll be like, oh yeah, it's that thing. If you know what the thing I'm talking about is, you know, hit us up on Twitter, shoot me an email, and be like, hey, dummy, it's this, because I can't remember it. And I'm not going to spend time looking for it in the middle of the show and struggle to find it.
And I would say that I also don't know what you're talking about, but that's just par for the course at this point.
Yeah, that's assumed.
So the last picture, I just wanted to kind of point out to you guys. I'm not sure if you've noticed it. I didn't notice it, but
Osiris on the weapon?
No, it's been pointed out on a couple of podcasts, websites, YouTube, that the sniper that's in that shot has got a short gaze scope on it, which is a very popular scope from Destiny 1. And it's only on, I think, a green or a blue sniper in Destiny 2. And if a short gaze sniper is back in Destiny 2, that's quite good. It's a very good scope for sniping.
Well, I mean, it's got a trial symbol on there, so I would say that it's going to be back because it's going to be good for trials.
That's the sniper. No, the scope. That's not the scope you're looking at.
I know, but the scope is on the sniper with the Trials of Osiris symbol. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yes, but never mind.
What are you saying?
That it looks like a short gaze. It may not be a short gaze.
I think it is a short gaze, and it makes sense that it's a short gaze because it's what we would it's what would be beneficial for trials. So I'm agreeing that I think it is a short that thing because, you know,
short gaze.
Yes, it would be good for trials, which is, you know, the whole point of this season. I mean, it's one of the few times I'm agreeing with you. Golly.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't make it a habit, man.
So the Season of Worthy page that's popped up on the Bungie website says, "Save the last city. With the Sundial free from the clutches of the Red Legion, one escaped Scion Flayer enacts a desperate ploy for revenge against the last city. Guardians of the Light must set aside old differences to band together with unlikely allies and save the city from total destruction." So we see that in the trailer. And power up Rasputin. Time is running out. Race against time to save the last city from destruction. So these are the towers, the Seraph Towers. Join your fellow Guardians and prepare Rasputin's defenses in shared public events. We also have bounties and bunkers. Rise to Rasputin's challenge and clear bunkers throughout the system to re-establish communication with the Warmind. Trials of Osiris returning, as we already know, and we've talked about quite a bit. There's going to be some exclusive Bungie rewards for Trials. So there's going to be pins, hats, probably a lot more other things. There's a new exotic weapon, which I'm sure that Perry's going to be quite excited to get hold of. Tommy's matchbook. So Tommy the Ghost presents us with the token of goodwill. Sure, it might just be a match, but all a Guardian needs to light up the darkness is a spark. So this looks very much like a Tommy gun, doesn't it? Hence Tommy's matchbook.
It does. I'm very curious about this one. I mean, it's an auto rifle, so of course I am, but...
they're speculating it might be a submachine gun.
That's pretty big for a submachine gun.
Because a Tommy gun is a...
Could be a large round, belt-fed submachine gun, or not belt-fed, but yeah. Even more recluse.
And then we have a look at our new artifact for the season, the Warmind Kajinla. I have no idea.
It looks like a sword.
Yes.
The Warmind Kanjali.
There you go, the Warmind Kanjali. Yeah, I've heard it so many times, and then I come to read it, and my mind went blank, and it was like, nope, you don't know what that word is. So yes, we're going to increase our power and unlock powerful seasonal mods each time that you upgrade the Sacred Blade. Only you decide how much power is enough. I'm guessing above 12 would be enough, like we've had. Last couple of seasons.
Enough to get all the things out of it seems like enough, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we have a look at some of our Russian-themed armor. Very green and weird looking.
And Russian-y.
Yeah, very Russian-y. So yeah.
There you
go. I'm really glad they gave the hunter a nice warm hat to wear, while he's out there in the cold. It keeps his ears warm.
I hate that hat so much, man.
Would you prefer to look like a turtle, a big green turtle that the Titan looks like, with tank tread arms or something?
I mean,
the Warlock, I have no real thoughts about. The Warlock looks fine, but I don't know.
I'm not saying I would prefer the Titan, but I don't have to prefer the Titan to hate the Hunters. Okay, it's not
very true.
It's not a mutually exclusive thing here, man.
No, not at all. They can. All the armor in the game can look stupid. We've established this,
right? And often does.
Then we have a look at some of our Seraph rewards, our weapons. Then there's, I think, another armor set, very reddish and yellow.
Yep.
Then there is a shot of an exotic shotgun. So what shotgun is this?
That is the Four Horsemen. That is the bane of my existence in D1. It was crap unless you were shooting at somebody close range, and then it was instant death.
So it's very much like the Lord of Wolves, but
not as much range.
Not as much range, but more powerful.
Not nearly the same freaking range, man.
No,
we'll call it the Cerberus -1. It's going to shoot a lot of bullets, sort of about where you want to put them, but you have to be real close to get kills with it.
Yeah, no, like real close is an understatement. We're talking like right up on them. Now, if you manage to get that close, the DPS is insane, but you do have to be right up on them to appreciate it.
So glad. Look at you, buddy.
Which makes you wonder. They've introduced this like close range damage dealing weapon. They've improved swords, so that's another close range weapon. They've improved the sidearms. They've improved auto rifles. It's a lot more closer range stuff, and maybe some of these bosses are not going to have stomp mechanics.
Oh, they're going to have stomp mechanics.
we can only hope.
No, they are going to have stomp mechanics.
It really is like. I'll be happy if they don't, but even then, it's still useless for everything else in the game with a stomp mechanic. Right. Not useless, but not as useful as it could be.
But if you are interested in seeing what the Fourth Horseman is and what it can do, I will link a Planet Destiny video from way back when they reviewed it in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
And then we have, if you scroll down further on the page, you have your progression. So you can continue climbing past rank 100 to see what you can achieve in this season's pass. So all players unlock the top row of the rewards when ranking up, and season pass owners earn all the bottom row as well, as we've known for the last couple of seasons. So you can scroll through that and see what you can earn for the next 100 rewards plus. So Parody, I know he hasn't got this up on his screen. Do you want to go through what's included in what part of the game?
Yeah, so available to all Destiny 2 players, new light folks, people who didn't buy the season pass, you're going to be able to defend the last city from the Red Legion by powering up Rasputin. The new Seraph Tower, public events, and bunker activities. So it'll be two different things. Also, all the new Seraph Tower things you're going to get. Trials of Osiris returns every weekend. Your minimum power level is 960 for that. Again, because it's power enabled, so you're going to want to have a power level that's reasonable or you're going to be destroyed. You'll be destroyed anyway, but it's important to at least have a 960 power level for Trials. Your seasonal artifact, upgrade the Warmind. Congelli to earn seasonal gear mods. Rank up to unlock seasonal armor set, the 7th Seraph. So that 3 times fast, Night Demon. And rank up to unlock the exotic auto rifle Tommy's Matchbook. So that's what's coming to our free folks for everybody. Now, the season pass owners, we're going to be getting the weekly Rasputin challenges, the legendary Lost Sectors. So if you enjoy Lost Sectors and farming those for light level, now you'll have legendary ones. We're getting a new exotic quest line, possibly for the Fourth. But, Fourth Horseman, maybe not. We'll see.
That would be a well drop like the Monte Carlo was.
Yeah, so something new is coming on the exotic front. We're going to instantly unlock the 7th Seraph armor sets for each class, instantly unlock the exotic auto rifle Tommy's Matchbook, new triumphs, bounties, seasonal lore books, exotic emote, ghost ornaments, and finishers. All XP gains are increased throughout the season, and there are additional season pass rewards to unlock, as well as everything on the free tier that we're getting as well. So I like that Bungie said we're not. People said, hey, you gave away a little too much last season with the calendars and the pass information. So that's why they're saying a new exotic quest line, additional pass rewards. So they're not telling us everything we're going to get up front, which I kind of appreciate.
Do you though?
Yeah,
I do, because I like having a little bit of mystery in the game. I don't like knowing every single thing before the season even starts. I like there to be those moments where it explodes of Twitter and Reddit being like, "Oh my god, this was dropped! Oh hey, I just got this drop in the game! Hey, this thing came out back into the game!" Like I'd much rather not know the Fourth Horseman was coming back and just start seeing people getting, "Hey, I got this out of a drop! Hey, I got this out of this reward." I like there being some mystery to it. I don't like knowing everything going in.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I would prefer them just not even tell us that there is going to be an exotic quest, like they did with the Last Whisper. You know what I mean? Not Last Whisper.
Yeah. Last Whisper.
I always say that
time.
every damn time. The freaking whatever, the sniper rifle damn thing. Okay, that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Shut up, leave me alone.
The one you enjoy so much, you will definitely remember the name of it for next week. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
No, I really won't. Point is like they didn't even tell us it was there. And then all of a sudden people are like, whoa, what is this? What is this? What is this? There's a guy standing there. Holy crap, there's a hole. Why is there a hole? Let's follow the hole. Oh my God, there's a thing. That was exciting. When people started saying that, and I was like, no way, that's back. There's no way.
Well,
and sure enough, there
you say that. They do provide us with a calendar for the season. And Ep.59 from Bungie, who's he's our French representative. Do you remember Ep.59? He's replied to somebody on Twitter saying, here's a copy of the calendar for Season of Worthy. At the start of Season of Dawn, many of you told us that the calendar may have spoiled too much for the content for you. So we took this into account for Season 10, so don't hesitate to send us any of your feedback. So what they've kind of done is pull back on some of the reveal of what to expect. So they've just given us basically a brief outline of what to expect for the next couple of weeks. And just at the bottom, it just says and more. So they haven't told us anything about, the exotic quest, although they've kind of given us a rough detail across the top. But they've just given us a rough outline of this begins on March 10th, this begins on April 21st, here and this and that. So that's quite interesting to see, isn't it? So should we have a look at the calendar? I know you're not even looking at the calendar, you're too busy eating.
I am actually looking at the calendar right now.
Oh, you okay?
Here's another one, yeah.
Okay, would you like to tell people what is happening when?
Yeah, sure. Beginning March 10th, Seraph Tower event, new PvE activity with new legendary weapons and armor. Which was just going? Okay, it's going
down.
Okay, March 13th is going to be Trials of Osiris.
You are way away from that microphone now.
Oh, sorry. Trials of Osiris, new endgame PvP. Trials every weekend. New seal. Trials themed weapons and armor. Beginning March 10th and March 24th, we have Seraph Bunker, EDZ, and Moon. Legendary Lost Sectors. Grandmaster Ordeal, starting April 21st. The new Nightfall Strike difficulty. New seal with endgame rewards, and I don't know why Zavala's there, because he never goes into strikes.
Because he's unhappy.
Mm-hmm. April 21st through May 11th, Guardian Games, free event for all players. Class competition, new legendary armor. Class competition. Maybe I really am the greatest hunter in the world. Let's find out.
If you can zoom into that picture, if anybody's looking at it, there's 3 triangles underneath the flags, and they're different colors, and they represent underneath. They've got the symbols for each class. So it was kind of speculated on a couple of things that I've watched this week that maybe you're going to get kills or, complete certain events and earn tokens for your class, and you have to deposit those at the tower to see which class is the best.
It's going to be hunters.
Oh, I'm going to spend all of my time in there.
I feel like it's going to be hunters that are going to spend the most time doing this. But we'll see.
Because
although it does seem to be season of the close range, so shoulder charges for all. I don't know. We'll find out. I do like this, even though they're not doing fashion rallies. I like having some sort of silly fun competition like this. Against the 3 classes. Now, I would love it if they locked you to only one class you could choose per account, but I'm sure it'll be all 3. But yeah, whatever.
See, I was thinking more along the lines of, and I know I'm completely wrong, but this was my hope, right? You go into this one game type as a hunter, and you only face other hunters, and you get to see who the best hunter is, right? Like the best of the best kind of thing.
That's called Trials.
You're not wrong. That's exactly what Trials is. You go up against 3 hunters, and they snipe you and jump away from afar. That's Trials. Before we get too far off, let's finish up. What is our last thing we're getting on the calendar?
That would be April 7th, and it's the Seraph Bunker. It is a legendary lost sector, and then apparently there's more stuff that they won't let us see.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, So we've got our legendary or Seraph bunkers on the EDZ and Moon. One's coming the 10th, one's coming the 24th. I'll let you good people decide which you think is coming first, and then we get our last legendary lost sector on the 7th of April on IO.
Interesting thought, right? You know how that Cabal ship is going to crash into Earth and destroy life as we know it? What if, and I know this isn't going to happen because Cabal are the way that they are, but some Cabal, we actually party up with other Cabal that are just like, nope, I do not want to go out like this. Nope. I want to go out in battle, not being crushed by a gigantic Earth-ending ship, right? So,
but we're not going to Earth. We're going to the last city. There's no Cabal in the last city.
Okay, you just said we're not going to Earth. We're going to the last city.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the last city at?
A different geographic location than Earth. The farm's on Earth. Believe me, when I fly to Earth, it's a different location than flying to the last city. It's in a different spot.
I'm sure it is.
The farm will get crushed, but if Earth gets destroyed. But the last city, different place. Mm-hmm. So there's no Cabal there.
So anyway, that I think would have been entertaining. Just I want to destroy it my way, right? Something, I don't know.
So just as a reminder, Bungie rewards ending soon. Season of Dawn, Bungie rewards and offers for purchase end soon. Saint 14's mini replica head and pin go away. The Bastion hoodie, the Savior seal pin, a free powerful engram. So just visit the Bungie rewards to claim those and pay some $1. Yes.
And I'll throw one quick shout out. If you are maybe looking for one of those rewards and didn't get it unlocked or didn't have time to finish it, I've seen Cheese Forever just I think on his YouTube like text feed and on I think maybe on Twitter as well, putting out, I guess a bunch of people are sending him, screenshots of their codes and stuff for the different, the Bastion hoodie and the Saint 14 things that they aren't going to buy. So if you do want one of those things and didn't have time to get them, I've seen Cheese and some other folks, retweeting, say, hey, here's some codes that people have sent me. They aren't going to use theirs. Use it for the discount. So if it's out there and you want it, people are sharing the things they aren't going to buy anyway. Like Respawn, he's not going to buy any Save 14 stuff because he doesn't love Titan Dad.
I love Save 14. I just don't like Titans.
So next week in Destiny, Season of Worthy begins. We've got to work with Ashemir when Io becomes the weekly flashpoint. Yay, we got a flashpoint.
I saw that and I just burst out laughing this week. I was like, oh, they put the flashpoint up because they're like, there's nothing else going on. So
they don't want to tell us everything about Season of Worthy. So we better give them something. It can't just be there's something going on in Crucible. So yes, Crucible, Clash and Showdown come to the Crucible for next week. If you are going to be dipping your toes in, which I guess a lot of people will be, because you want to get those pinnacle rewards for the week, don't you? So
gotta start that Trials grind.
Yeah. So with all that, we can now move on to this week at Bungie for the 5th of March 2020.
6 hours later, here we go. Although at least this week at Bungie we've covered most of. So again, talked about our gameplay trailer. It's up there on the page. Go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We just gave you our calendar.
Just now.
Calendar's up there.
Trials returns. Already said that. Power Games in there.
And then props to Bungie because they actually put out a whole article about this, which was twofold. Hey, because of the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, especially hitting Washington State pretty hard, they've moved their entire folks remote. Spin up their infrastructure. You see, as we were going to spin up the Warmind, they have spun up their own Warmind to allow their VPNs to work, to have them all work from home. So they do say, this might put, some of the patching, a little bit delayed because they're working from home versus not working in the office and being near people. But, the game moves on, things move forward. Destiny is still going to be Destiny. So props to Bungie for being like, hey, let's not all take public transit and all go to the same place and infect each other. Let's stay home and just infect our friends and loved ones at home personally.
Yeah, so you mentioned the Trials thing there, Respawn. So the hashtag for the sending in your clip is hashtag Trials Returns, and share your favorite clip from Destiny 1 Trials of Osiris. And you can post them up to the Twitter or upload them to YouTube, and even post them to the community creation team page, and they'll round up their favorites to be featured in next week's TWAB. So there you go.
And now we're getting power.
Loads of power.
So I'm sure we're
unlimited power.
All of the power.
Until they patch out your unlimited power. Please note, unlimited power is a temporary thing until Bungie patches it. Terms and conditions may apply. Yeah, so we're raising the power cap for gear 40 points. So powerful gear will now drop up to 1,000 points. With pinnacle drops going up to 1010. But pinnacle drops aren't things. It's ritual weapons. We don't do pinnacle anymore. That's old. This is new. And the soft cap has effectively been raised to 50 points. Gear drops from nearly all sources will now continue to be upgrades until 950 power. Powerful reward sources will not be required to progress to 950. We're looking to present the element of gear progression available each season. They point to Luke Smith's director's cut for the Weapons Forever section to learn more about the future of weapons. And we have quality of life updates coming about mid-season in update 281. They'll be upgrading some of the existing powerful rewards to pinnacle rewards. These are the weekly Crucible, Strike, and Gambit challenges, as well as the weekly Clan Engram, which is nice because we need more pinnacle things.
Read that to me again, one more time.
So your weekly Crucible, Strike, and Gambit challenges, as well as your weekly Clan Engram, are going to be upgraded to powerful drops.
So they're going back to how they used to be in Destiny 2.
I thought you said Pinnacle
2 in the Forsaken. Yeah.
Pinnacle, I thought.
I sure did. With this change, we want to increase the total number of Pinnacle power sources in the game, broaden Pinnacle drop access, as well as increase the pool of items we can drop in the Pinnacle band.
When we first had Forsaken, literally everything on the menu was a Pinnacle reward, wasn't it? You could go into your Crucible, you could do your 2 Crucible, you could do your competitive, and you could do your normal.
They were all powerful, not Pinnacle.
Yeah, but that they changed the name of them. They were powerful, but they changed the name to Pinnacle. Mm-hmm. So these are the ones that you want as a reward to get you to higher light. So at the moment, your Pinnacle rewards are like the 4 Iron Banner bounties that you can get. Anything from the raid, your Nightmare Hunts will give you one. Your dungeon will give you some, won't it? Those are your pinnacles at the moment.
Yeah, your top tier.
I can name that I can think of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, top tier night. Yeah, 100 to 1,000 Nightfall, that kind of thing.
Yeah, basically everything you need a team to go in with. So it's nice that you can just go play some Gambit, play some Strikes, play some Crucible, and still get some power level increase without having to go play like an end-game activity with a team around you.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the reason why they changed that back, that they scaled it back, was because they didn't want people kind of getting to the maximum power very quickly. So they took away those pinnacle or those really powerful rewards and just made them normal rewards, which is why you don't see a lot of people doing it. But then I suppose then Luke Smith did say in his director's cut last week that they wanted people to be playing those things and actually still get the pinnacle rewards from it. So it kind of makes sense. And then it makes even more sense why they're jumping up like 40 light from 960 to 1,000, because it would still take people a considerable amount of time for just normal players to get to 1,000. But yeah, it kind of works, doesn't it now? Do you not think?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's an investment back in the core of the game. It's a reason to go play those things every week, and you'll still get some progression out of it versus playing those things every week and getting nothing from it at all.
Yeah, because I mean, I totally get that. Because lately, I've just been coming in, doing my dungeon, and then bouncing out. Because that's really the only thing that I could do in a certain amount of time that would give me a pinnacle. So there it is.
Yeah, it's nice that they're increasing that. Because, yeah, like coming into this next season, my play times are going to be cut drastically. So I'm excited about these changes as becoming a more casual player in terms of time I can devote to the game. I'm not going to have all day to go sit and grind through some of these activities. So if I can go, jump on, play a couple strikes, knock out some Gambit matches, jump into the whatever the Crucible rotation is for the week, and get some of this, or heck, just play Trials, which is still Crucible. I'll get my Trials drops if there is anything, and this all in one go. It's more reason to jump in just for an hour here and there and actually feel like you're getting somewhere. So yeah, good changes.
Yeah, and then they go on to say about the Trials being around the corner. They wanted to address the artifact power problem, and like we said earlier, that they can't disable it for the first week, but hopefully Tuesday, March 17th, they'll have the patch in place so that the artifact will be disabled for Trials and Iron Banner going forward. Speaking of Iron Banner, something I remembered that they haven't kind of brought up in the TWAB is, you remember last season we were meant to get that pinnacle reward of the bow from Iron Banner, and they said it will definitely be coming next season. So hopefully,
and they've definitely not mentioned it at all, but hopefully it's in the and more.
Yes, hopefully that's going to be the thing that they kind of highlight with the new Iron Banner coming up, that we get this quest or pinnacle reward for doing something in Iron Banner. So that'd be one for you, Respawn, a nice new bow to play with.
Ooh.
Still
Does it have a catalyst
yet?
yet?
Have a new bow. Nope. Maybe Destiny 3 you'll get your catalyst.
I think if you put all the bows together that you've earned from Gambit, Iron Banner, Crucible.
Is it like a Voltron bow? Just combine all 5 bows to get a catalyst?
You take all the bows, you take them into the Warmind, and you say, please create this bow into Mega Bow and give me a catalyst for it.
Any catalyst, please, for the love of God. Any catalyst. I don't care. I mean, initially I had like preferences of what the catalyst would be, but now I'm not even picky. Just give me something. Increase the fire rate of bows for all I care. I don't know. Just give me a catalyst.
See, they've set your expectations so low, you'll accept whatever they give you now.
Right?
They've beaten you down to the point where they're like, yeah, they'll take whatever we give them. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
They say that their long-term plan is to enable the power cap for Trials and Iron Banner, and they're investigating the work required for this. So this will roll out early, midway through the season of the Worthy, but they don't have a firm date yet. So this is that maybe looking at like a damage curve for the power to be enabled in PvP modes to determine what or if any adjustments should be made. Assuming they discover, this necessity or if it's really necessary for it, they'll change the timeline, and that's still to be decided. It depends on how bad it gets with the competitive side of PvP, I suppose, that whether they implement it or they don't implement it. So for those people that are going to go out there and grind lost sectors to their heart's content and be plus 100 in light, then go for it and show them that they need to put a power cap on there and prove Respawn wrong.
See if anybody's still playing Trials after the first weekend and take it from there.
Or once a month, bring back Laser Tag Weekend.
Mm-hmm. I'm in. I'm so in.
So they're updating Eververse as well, as they do every season. So we mentioned it last week that the Bright Engrams will be no longer available to be purchased from the Eververse store. And as said by Luke Smith, it will just be purchasable by silver. That's quite interesting. There'll be a daily rotation and returning items. So in the place of Brighton Games, a new module will become available in the Eververse store starting in Season of Worthy. This daily rotating module will feature one item from a small selection of ships, sparrows, ghosts, and finishers that were offered in previous seasons. These items will be available to purchase directly for silver at a discount from the original price. That's quite nice. Aside from these changes, there aren't any other major shifts coming for Eververse, and they'll be monitoring the conversations through launch and beyond, and they will make sure to update us before any large changes are incoming. And they give us a quick preview of what's coming Season of the Worthy. So we've talked about the armor that looks really hideous for the Titan. Then we get to see a couple of the finishers, which are quite nice. There's the Hunter Bowstaff Strike. We've got a Titan that looks like he wants to be a Warlock, and a Warlock that looks like he wants to be a Warlock.
No. If you're looking at the same picture that I am, all the way on the left-hand side is the Titan, right?
No, the finishers. We were talking about finishers. We moved on from that. We've moved on from that.
I can't help but notice that your Titan is trying awfully hard.
Moved on.
Well, welcome back to like 2 hours ago when we were talking about this picture the first time.
No, I know, but like now that I've enlarged it and I'm really looking at it, it's like it's really suspicious though, man. Like for real.
How skinny that Titan is and how buff that Hunter is. Yeah, I agree. Moving on.
Yeah. No, it's just like, but why?
Again,
right.
2 hours ago, we covered this. Stay with the class.
Why are you guys trying to look like us?
Right. Can I just point something out? This is Tower casual clothes. That's all it is. Moving on.
No, it's really...
That's the armor set I want. Just Titan casual. Can I walk in the Crucible and be like, I got my jeans on,
because he's
got my
right.
hoodie.
Why
we're
is the Hunter twice the size as the Titan?
I know Luke Smith said in the director's cut last week about the rain-catching Titan shoulder pads, but they didn't need to go this extreme to remove the Titan shoulder pads. Right, moving on now.
I'm good with it, but yeah.
But even his pants look like a Hunter, though.
See 2 hours ago when we talked about this, and now Respawn has caught up with us like 2 hours later into the show, that now we're all on the same page.
No, but look at him.
Yeah, again, we did 2 hours ago when we started this.
But no, for real. Okay, no. Jokes aside,
we do have the final preview of patch notes. Now let me get through these, and then we can go back and talk about some of them, because I know Hunters are first, and I'm sure Respawn will have thoughts and opinions because he's seeing this for the first time. So let me get through this all first, then you can complain till your heart's content. And also, I don't know what the changes to the Hunter mean, so you can tell us if this is good, bad, or if it matters. All right. So we have the final preview of patch notes. So again, over the last few weeks, we've been giving us some previews of how the sandbox is evolving in Season of the Worthy. Not just weapon tuning, but the ability to change the elemental affinity of your armor pieces. This week, we're going to take a wider look at the Destiny Update 2.8.0, which has exotic armor tuning for PvE and PvP, UI updates, bug fixes, and more. Now, for exotic armor for the Hunter, the Assassin's Cowl. The invisibility and healing effect now triggers on powered melee, both against combatants and guardians and finishers. The duration of the invisibility gained by the exotic increases based on the tier of the enemy defeated, and the Arc Staff no longer activates this perk. Arc Staff kills no longer activate this perk. For the Frosties, or the Frosty E5s, change the ability regeneration so it no longer stacks multiplicatively with other class ability energy generating perks.
Oh, man.
The Kepri Sting. All smoke bombs now deal 150% damage while wearing this exotic.
I can get behind that.
The Orpheus Rig. The maximum amount of super you can regain from this exotic with a single use of Shadow Shot is 50%. And the Young Amenkara's Spine increases the explosion radius of trip mines by 14%. All right, moving on to the Titans. And again, we'll go back and we can have your thoughts about this afterwards. The Ashen Wakes, which I don't remember exists in the game. Killing an enemy with a fusion grenade while wearing the exotic now refunds grenade energy. The amount of grenade energy refunded scales based on the tier of enemy killed. The Antius Wards. The shield created during slide no longer allows chip damage through. The Doomfang Pauldrons. Fixed a bug where Doomfang Pauldrons would sometimes gain super energy from melee kills while in your super. The Dune Marchers increase the radius of static charge to 20 meters up from 12. The MK44 Stand-Asides reduce the delay from the start of sprinting until the overshield comes to half a second, down from 1.25 seconds. The One-Eyed Mask, everyone's favorite. The One-Eyed Mask, the target marking from this exotic has been replaced with target highlighting, eliminating the ability to detect targets through walls.
Nice.
No longer provides a damage bonus when defeating your marked target. Restore the previous overshield granted by defeating your marked target, which now has a duration of 6 seconds, down from 8. The Severance Enclosure.
Why didn't they do that forever ago, man?
Because Trials. The Severance Enclosure. The explosion now triggers a powered melee both against combatants and guardians and finishers. The radius and damage of the explosion caused by this exotic increases based on the tier of the enemy defeated. And finally, Warlocks. Here, the Apotheosis Veil. The Veil. This exotic now guaranteed to drop with a minimum of plus 16 to intellect. The Controverse Hold reduces the damage reduction granted by the exotic to 20%, down from 40%.
Ouch.
The Sanguine Alchemy gets a big redesign. It's received a complete redesign, in fact. So its new perk, Blood Magic, allows the wearer to pause the countdown timer of any rift they are standing in by getting weapon kills, thus extending the rift's duration.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, the Sanguine Alchemy basically, if you stand in the middle, if you stand in any rift and get kills, it keeps that rift going and going and going.
I guess that doesn't include the super, huh?
Don't know yet.
Yeah, it says any rift. I don't know if that counts as a rift technically. We'll find out. So the Ophidian aspects now increase the lunge range for all Warlock melees, even if the ability is on cooldown. So you'll be quicker and can lunge farther.
Yep.
And finally,
further with the last patch that the patch that they're going to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And finally, the Verity's Brow. The buff provided by this exotic now increases your grenade damage by 10% per stack. The buff to allies grenade recharge rate now kicks in when you cast your grenade. And the exotic now provides a buff text notification indicating how many allies are currently benefiting from your increased grenade recharge. Okay. Thoughts, opinions, feelings on exotics?
Before he jumps in with his I'm mad at everything, I just wanted to point out something that Cool Guy said, which was really interesting, that they've totally reworked the Sanguine Alchemy, which was the only Warlock exotic that could give them wall hacks, basically. So you could stand in the rift and you could see other enemy players across the map within a certain radius. They've also removed the wall hacks from the One-Eyed Mask. So it's either going to be wall hacks are going to be completely taken out of the game, which means that they're removing it from the Hunter subclass, and they haven't told us yet because these aren't the full patch notes.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hunters are going to be the only ones that can see through the walls. Either or. It's going to be very interesting, the full patch notes that we get in the next week. And I'll link the Cool Guy video that I watched because he went over a lot of these changes and how some of these are really good and some of these are meh. You know, they're just like the Khepri Sting. It's a change, and hopefully it will make people want to play with them, but maybe not. It depends on your playstyle, really. And I think he was saying the Orpheus rig is, at the moment, you can still get your full super back from doing certain things with the shadow shots, which is why they're capping it at 50%. The young Amhara spines.
Ahamkara? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Oh, you know, Titans. Can't say these words. Is a really good thing for the trip mines being increased by 14%. And then they already do a lot more damage and
they're going to be sticky again.
Stickier, and they last longer with those gauntlets. So yeah, Cool Guy's video is really interesting to watch because he's a guy that knows Crucible and so yeah, go for it, Respawn. Is this a rant? Do I need to put the music in?
No, actually,
okay.
It was going to be.
Oh, good.
But then they nerfed One-Eyed Mask, and that's all he can think about now.
You're exactly right. There's nothing else I have to say. I was going to be incredibly angry, and then I saw the nerfs to One-Eyed Mask. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with whatever now. I'm good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a little peeved at the nerf to the super regen for the Orpheus rigs. I don't really use top tree anymore. I main bottom tree now just because of the damage that it does. But you were still able to get it back even after the nerfs. Not obviously as good as you could before, but you could still get it back from time to time, right?
Yeah.
Now they've
with enough enemy. I assume if you had a real, like a middle of gambit or a big enemy rich area, you could get enough kills to make it happen.
Right. So they've nerfed us yet again, which I was angry about. But you know what? I'm okay with it. They nerfed the one-eyed mask into oblivion. I would go as far as saying it might be unusable now. Might be.
Says the hunter that doesn't use it, so don't listen to him.
No, but no wall hacks, no extra damage. The only thing it gives you now is what, an overshield?
Gives us our overshield back and our health regen still.
Did it say that health regen? It said no longer provides, restored previous overshield granted by defeating your marked target, which now has a duration of 6 seconds, not from 8. Okay. Even if it does still have the health regen, not the greatest, but at least the wall hacks are gone and the extra damage is gone.
And the damage bonus is gone. Yeah, so it keeps it as a viable choice, but it's not the one-all, end-all, be-all choice for all Titans everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, at least it doesn't have 19 exotic perks on it anymore.
Right.
It's insane. Anyway, but yeah, no rants. There was gonna be one, but I'm good. I'm very okay with this.
I'm really curious. I mean, I know 14% on trip mines isn't a huge amount, but now that they're sticky, and I'm just waiting for the clips of throwing a trip mine onto an enemy, having him run back to his friends, or sliding into his zone.
In trials, when you're getting team shot all the time because they're always hanging out with each other, that's gonna be perfect. Hey, here's a trip mine, take it back to your friends, and it's not gonna kill them outright, but it's gonna do damage to keep them from re-engaging you.
So the real question is, though, how can you use the new sticky trip mines and the Telesto to somehow get your super back in like one shot? Because the Telesto is going to break something catastrophically in this.
No,
you don't know what it is yet.
What you don't understand is the Telesto now shoots trip mines.
I mean, yes, it might as well. I'm in.
It shoots 7 trip mines, which all stick and goes back with the enemy with a 14% increased blast radius.
How can that be bad?
Yeah, right. No, because the Telesto is the trip mine for every other class, not just hunters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, looking at the Titan changes, the Doom. I mean, obviously, the one I masked needed to be brought back to Earth before Trials. That's obvious. That was never going to fly as it was because madness. The Doom Fang bug is good to fix that because you could still run around and just have more or less unlimited super through any sort of target-rich environment. The Doom Archers are interesting. I'm really curious about the static charge going up from 12 to 20 meters, if that's going to be, I'm not going to say viable, but interesting. Just the chain
one where like when you hit a melee, it has like an AOE.
Damage. When you hit a melee, it basically sort of chains that lightning to people. Not quite like the lightning, like the Warlock Arc Web grenade, but it'll be interesting. Like throw that on a shoulder charge and take that into a strike. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like again, a little bit of Crucible, Gambit, strikes where you've got groups of enemies you can go jump into, and yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out in real life.
20 meters. Some hand cannons and submachine guns cap out their damage at 20 meters. That's right. A big range, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to guess it's probably like it'll probably be a drop off. Like if you're on top of me, I'll deal a bunch of damage. I'm going to assume if you're out 20 meters, you'll do some damage, but you're not killing anybody at 20 meters. But maybe, I'm curious to see how it plays in real life.
I think Cool Guy was saying it's like sidearm range, so that's quite a distance,
right?
Yeah, yeah. But I wonder, is it going to hit? Is it going to hit that hard all the way out to 20 meters, or do you think it'll have like a diminishing return out to 20? I honestly don't know what it does now, but I don't know.
It's a static charge, so it's the one that goes between people. So if 2 people are standing next to each other, it'll just flick between them until they're dead if they're just standing there.
That's true. Yeah,
makes sense to me.
So that could be your new, not top tier competitive thing, but certainly fun to use in PvE activities.
Yes.
And the Warlock's got changes. The Sanguine Alchemy, I'll be curious to see if we see people running that again, but I don't know enough. The Ophidian aspects to me now read with the additional lunge range and the speed. It reads to me like a better oh god, what are they called? My brain just stopped working. Syntheseps, like a better Synthesep.
Yeah,
because now you've got a longer range and a quicker melee attack. Now again, you're not going to be like taking down top tier content with your punching, but I think that's an interesting choice for that class, especially if you mess that with all the ranged melees it has now.
Yeah, no, I'm actually interested to see how this is going to work, and he's right. This is all for Trials, man. This is all to stop the wall hacks and everything from Trials. So I am very interested to see how this plays out. This might actually make for a fun a fun skill-based Trials environment.
Yeah.
Not just hey, I have one-eyed mask, I win.
Yeah. And these are like the big changes they're preparing us for. I'm sure I feel like there's always a couple things they sort of sneak into that are maybe weren't ready or weren't set when they put out the preview. It was like, that's kind of a big change, but you didn't tell us about it yet. But I'll be curious to read the full patch notes.
All rocket launchers have double blast radius in PvP.
All rocket launchers now shoot Telestos, which shoot trip mines. It goes down the line.
Man, to see a mod like that would be absolutely hysterical. Because when you play other games like Fallout, for example, right? They had the one gun which shot out like 1,000 tomahawks in one of the mods, right? You just have a Telesto that shoots 9 trip mines at a target, or like you're saying, the rocket that shoots the Telesto that shoots the trip mines at the target.
So what do you think the other changes are going to be this season with the subclasses? You got any thoughts about what they might change?
No.
I think it's going to depend. I mean, we're not getting a new raid. It's going to be primarily Trials based. So I think it's going to be a lot more about bringing the classes sort of into parity a little bit. Like bringing them in so you can have a hunter, a warlock, and a titan go into Trials, and none of them have that one exotic or that one piece. Obviously, you still have your weapons and your pinnacle weapons and ritual weapons that are a differentiator, but you're not going to have again. Throwing a one-eye mask. Okay, now I'm an overpowered super god walking into this. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot more about trying to find some level of balance, some level of.
If they're already going to be messing with top tree, meaning the Orpheus rigs, can they just do something with either the top tree itself or the Orpheus rigs, which will?
Well, they said they're going to be adjusting those, didn't they? They're going to be fiddling with the subclasses.
The time it takes for your top tree anchor to reach out and touch someone, because it's absurd how long it takes.
Yeah, and that's why they keep talking about we're gonna invest in the core game. We're gonna do some of this stuff. I'm hoping that's the kind of changes we see. So your anchor, so I can't run by your anchor, shoulder charge you, kill you, and then the anchor tethers me. I'm hoping this will give them time if they slow down. They can put in some of these quality of life changes, some fixes that isn't just new content. Actually fixing some gaps in the current stuff.
Here's hoping. But it's insane how some of these things just get by the wayside. The anchor taking so long to engage, the trip mines. Like I haven't used trip mines in a while, but back in the day, you throw a trip mine, it would stick to a wall. They would run by it and kill you, shoulder charge you, whatever, and then the trip mine would go off, dealing 12 damage.
Yeah, some damage. Yeah, I would like to see grenades just be a little bit stronger. I mean, not like necessarily like one hit kill, but just make them feel. And I don't know, maybe they feel a little bit stronger these days, or I'm just using my double pulse grenade. So I'm like, yeah, you stand there and you'll die eventually. But I just never felt like grenades.
Always been strong. That's why.
Yeah, that's why you don't use anything else.
Titans have just only ever used those freaking grenades, and I hate them.
Yeah, there was just no reason. There's no reason to use anything else. So I'd like to even just some grenade reworks and just some things like that. Just making it more of a choice of I'm gonna choose this or this, not just I'm gonna choose a strong thing and the other two can sit there and never be used. Do you have any thoughts on subclass changes or?
I'm just hoping that they change. They did say they were going to touch the middle tree striker on the Titan, and that's one of my favorite subclasses to use, especially in Gambit with a risk runner. So I'm hoping that they're going to improve it to something that's going to be
Superman
worth
one,
using
right?
it. Yeah. That's what we talked about last week.
Yeah, that's one I used not for the super.
The range.
No, I see. I used the super on it as well. I used the punching to the ground and then use the super and just keep repeating, and it's really good in Gambit for me.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, I use a super, but I wish it felt like a super. I wish it like did enough damage that it felt like I was doing something. I don't know. It still feels really weak.
Especially if you like hit a Nightfall boss or you hit one of those Gambit bosses with the super, it's like you're just tickling them with their arm and they just like, nope, stomp, bye. And you go flying into a wall because you've put the momentum into them and then they stomp the ground. It's like the game takes that and goes, no, you were traveling at that speed when you hit the ground, so you're going to go flying in the opposite direction faster than that and go and slam into a wall. So things like that, I hope they improve on.
At least it's a wall. I hate when they curb stomp your ass into lava. That one map where there's almost no footholds, and then if you get curb stomped anywhere, you're just in lava and there's nothing you can do about it.
The number of times last season that I went flying off into the distance because I was curb stomped by that with those final Vex bosses, it was I was very vexually assaulted by those Vex bosses and just launched. We yeeted them at the end of the season. They yeeted me way out into the distance because you would just fly forever because there was nothing up there.
So we've got some changes to the investment. So legendary engrams, they've increased the number of armor sets available from world drops to 11 from 3, which is quite nice. This will include the faction rally armor, and players like us that were there in year 1 that owned the faction rally ornaments can apply this to the new sets, which is quite nice. Yeah, so we can all be Lannisters.
No, Space Goth.
You can be the spaciest of Space Goths.
Several sets that were previously unavailable or extremely difficult to acquire are now available as world drops. Armor stats. Prime engrams will now more reliably drop armor with higher overall stat rolls and spikier distribution. Exotic armor will now more reliably drop with higher overall stat rolls. And legendary armor now has an improved chance of receiving higher overall stat rolls, though lower rolls will still be present. Which is a good change. This is what we've kind of been asking for.
Yes, because right now my Iron Banner armor and the armor I pulled out of the seasonal pass at the end of the season are the only thing I have with numbers in the 60s. It's the only thing I have that's actually high level armor. Because nothing else that drops is like, oh, this is garbage. Let me trash it. So Respawn. That's a nice change.
Yes.
Respawn, would you like to take us through the changes in the user interfaces? Because it's in line with PC apparently.
Okay.
So you can describe what this is.
All right. The settings screen UI layout on console has changed to match the experience on PC, allowing for future updates. Added the ability to change the color of the reticule on console. That's always been a thing? Okay.
Not on console.
Apparently not on console.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
This is what I was asking you to, because you play on PC, so I thought you'd be able to describe it. And now you've ruined it by saying that it's always been available.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't see the word console there. Added the ability to change the color of the reticule on console. Reticule on console. Reticule on console. Reticule on console. Console. So on PC, not only can you change the color. I'm not going to go there. Yes, you can change the color. The other stuff you can see later. Added hint text during loading screens.
You can now choose 7 different colors matching PC apparently.
Added hint text during loading screens. Added comma separators to the glimmer count in the loot stream. No longer keeps me awake at night. I
have no idea what that means.
Same.
Yeah, this is right on the Bungie page. Apparently the comma separators was keeping someone awake at night.
Yeah. Categories is nice, yeah. Quest items will now be automatically filtered to any of the 7 categories, which are New Light, All Quests, Shadowkeep, Seasonal, Playlist, Exotics, and The Past.
And you won't see New Light if there are no active New Light quests in your inventory.
Correct. World. So yeah, that's it for the UI stuff. Did you want me to go into performance issues, or is that somebody else?
No, you can do that.
Fair enough.
Tell us about your performance issues.
Fixed UI shuddering and frame rate drops when loading or applying mods. Yeah, they keep saying that. I'll believe it when I see it. Improved frame rate in Gambit and Gambit Prime. That is a thing. Fixed frame rate issues during Sanctified Mind Encounter of the Garden of Salvation raid. Don't know. Haven't rated on PC yet. Fixed frame rate issues in the Pit of Heresy dungeons, specifically in tunnel encounters. Yes, nothing worse than an ogre chasing you and you start to freaking lag. Oh my god. Fixed stutter at high frame rate on PC. General improvements to performance PC when a lot of debris is on the ground, meaning stop shooting the ground, you freaking A10 Warthog Titan. While this list is pretty lengthy, we'll have more patch notes to share with you next Tuesday around 9 a.m. PDT, an hour before Season of the Worthy begins. Some of you may be asking, wait, 10 a.m.? Don't patches usually ship at 9 a.m.? Well, that's because daylight savings time is a thing.
Only in the US.
Yeah, well, parts of the US. Did you know that some of the US does not respect daylight savings time?
Sure did.
Yeah.
And this begins on Sunday, March 8th.
Yeah.
But in an area that respects daylight savings time, so we lose our hour of sleep, and I'm going to want it back later.
Yeah.
Do you not gain an hour? Or is this the lose an hour? No, this is lose an hour, isn't it?
Spring forward, fall back. Spring you lose, fall you gain.
Yep.
Okay. So have you managed to work out the times for me, Parody?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely did that when you asked me to.
You didn't.
Nope, I sure didn't. Although I can do it on the fly because I do have my world clock, so we're good.
Go on then. You go on it. Go.
Do it fast.
All right. So our new season of I didn't say I could do it fast. I said I could do it. So our Destiny 2 update 2.8.0 will roll out at 8 a.m. PDT, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, 1500 UTC, and I'm not doing Sydney, Australia. Andy, it's the middle of the night for you. You'll figure it out.
I love how he called him out. Our one Australian and good dad. You gotta call out
Andy. Andy is Australia. That's how it works.
So is
So 45 minutes after that, Destiny 2 is taken offline. 15 minutes after that, the update begins rolling out to all platforms and all regions, and players will be able to log back in an hour and 1 minute after that. So at 10:01 a.m. 10:01 a.m. PDT, 1:01 a.m. Eastern, 17:01 UTC, and again shortly after 4 a.m. Australia, Destiny 2 is back online for all platforms. Seasons of the Worthy begins. Start your grind. And 2 hours after that, the maintenance window concludes if all goes well. And we'll be in Season of the Worthy, and things will be great and not buggy, and Talissa won't have brought down the game. So, yeah, assuming it all goes well, that's when it's going to happen.
First of all,
and again, stay tuned to Bungie Help, and they have a server and update status page, which will give you further updates if anything goes haywire, and we'll keep you abreast on, upcoming issues. And they do have a couple of resolved issues. This is upcoming resolved issues part 2. So below is a continuation of the list of issues that will be resolved when the Season of the Worthy and Update 2.8.0 launch and become available on March 10th. So the Hunter Tempest Strike melee ability can now be performed when using PC controls where sprint is set to hold. The character subclasses with ranged melee abilities will count toward melee kill bounties and triumphs. So these include the Titan Hammer Throw, the Hunter Throwing Knives, the Corrosive Smoke Bomb, and the Warlock's Celestial Fire and Ball Lightning. The Fastidious Miser Triumph will now correctly progress for players who have found all 30 Ascended chests across the Cursed Weeks in the Dreaming City and have claimed all the corresponding triumphs. The weekly strike bounties for Hive and Vex boss kills will now award progress for players for killing Savathun's Song, Zol, and the Dendron the Root Mind. And as always, when 2.8.0 is released, stay tuned to Destiny player support, and they will tell you what broke, what fixed, and where we are there.
And then we can go through it next week.
Exactly.
A couple of days a bit too late.
Yeah. And then you can watch your nature documentary of all the pretty animals in the game that someone's put together for Movie of the Week.
And saying that, I think next week's TWAB is going to be...
I've definitely missed something.
Next week's TWAB is going to be all trials related. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to it before then. So just make sure you keep an eye out for it on the Bungie webpage. Mm-hmm. So that'll give you all the trials information that you'll need if you're going to go and play some trials. Like we're going to go play some trials.
Oh my god, it's going to be such a train wreck.
It's gonna be amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say a train wreck. I didn't say a train wreck couldn't be amazing. I just said it's going to be a train wreck.
So, should we give the people the information now to go come watch Two Titans and a Hunter fail miserably in trials next week?
Yeah, let's go do that. So 9:30 a.m. next Saturday morning,
Eastern time. Yeah,
Eastern, which is what is it for you there, Night Demon?
Not
2:30 in the afternoon.
All right. So if you're on the West Coast, get up really early. If you're on the East Coast, get up a little bit early. And if you're over in the the Queen's England, just after your midday tea, we will do. Are we committing to streaming this, or are we just going to say? Well, I guess if we're telling people to watch us, we've got to stream something.
Well, you two can do the streaming because my internet is rubbish. So
it'll either be you or bandwidth.
I'm actually going to stream on my Twitch since we lost all of our other stream data on the.
Okay, you stream on that, and Parody can do Mixer then.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you do Twitch, I'll do Mixer, or maybe we'll do the both and figure out the co-stream. We'll figure it out. Again, follow the show on Twitter, and we will tell you what we're planning to do and how badly it's going to fail. So if you want to watch us and laugh at us, you can do so live.
Yeah,
yes,
it's going to be amazing.
We take advice on the fly as well.
Yeah. Just start screaming, get good, scrub at Respawn, and really the rest of us, and that'll definitely help our gameplay out.
Yeah, I'll help one of us.
All right, so Trials uses connection-based and card state matchmaking. So not only is it going to be based on your connection, it's also going to be how good your card is how you're going to get matched up in Trials. We'll see how that fails gloriously. And that's from Luke Smith, by the way. There is a Reddit link. Okay, that is real. Okay, when you're on the cusp of visiting the new lighthouse, the one you all built with tons of fractalin and effort, we want you to be facing someone in a similar spot. Twitter. Cosmo has stated they've learned a lot from the event and will take all the feedback given to apply for future events. Reddit link. Trials of Osiris will return in the Season of the Worthy. Thank you. Artifact Power will... Okay, did that. 3B3 elimination. Nerfs. We're hesitant to make changes to things that players have spent a lot of time earning, but at the same time, we will always strive to make changes to keep improving the health of the game. The team believes that changes to snipers and GLs? What is GL? Sniper?
Is he having a stroke, isn't he?
No, I'm trying to remember what GLs means. Oh, well. NGLs are necessary to give other weapons a chance to be more valuable choices. We will continue to monitor player feedback once the changes are live and consider your input. And that is a forums link. Congratulations. All right. The team is aware of the large amount of feedback on the stomp mechanic. Oh my God, thank you. No plan changes yet. Damn it. But it's something that they're looking at. Forums link. At least they've acknowledged it. I will give them that. DMG. There will be requirements to unlock Trials. You can't just make new account and jump straight in. No token pledge system for the factions Twitter account. That's cool. Dire Promise will be found in Legendary Ingram starting on March 10th, along with a few other faction weapons. As long as the request for more weapons roll in, Dylan doesn't have the full list to reference at this time. But the team was excited to get these out. There are a few weapons from each, but feel free to let Bungie know which ones were your favorites. What was that?
GLs are grenade launchers, by the way.
Thank you. What was that scout rifle from Future War Cult that was really, really good?
No one pledged to Future War Cult, so nobody knows.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was the reward for a faction rally one week, and I didn't get it. Doesn't matter. We'll follow up if faction armor ornaments will work. I thought they already said that they would. Whatever. Season 10 is not PvP driven as Epion read it. The Trials of Osiris will be one activity among many. Trials is not a part of the season pass. They are aware that many are worried about cheating problems, and they will talk about it soon. They've seen the feedback around the artifacts role in Trials, and it has been forwarded to the team. Well, thank you for forwarding things to teams. Yes.
Take a drink.
Yes. And that's it. That's all I can see. Oh, no, that's one, I guess. There's probably a second one here. Nope, standby. Boom. Destiny Roundup. Trials, Power, Season of the Worthy, and a new road map. Here we go. They will be to say we did that. Cosmo, Seraph Bunkers, Electric Thunder Stars. Okay. Cosmo has stated Seraph Bunkers and the Legendary Lost Sectors are separate activities. They are not the same activity. They are two different activities. Not one, but two. Two instead of one. Not one, two. How many is it? It's two. Is it one? No, it's not one. It is two. Electrostatic Surge fixed next season now correctly increases class ability region when near allies. They will talk about power increase in the TWAB.
Been broken all this time. That's a little sad.
Not that any of us would know, right? Well, I mean, I guess somebody knew if it's been pointed out, but I didn't. So moving on. They will talk about the power increase in the TWAB. Did that. There's going to be much more to do this season than just trials if that's not your activity of choice. Where we at? Maurice. I don't know who Maurice is. I probably should. Don't care. Public tweets and videos of cheaters do not speed up the ban process, but give the spotlight to people who don't deserve public attention. If you suspect someone of cheating, follow this link guide Twitter. Keep eyes on This Week at Bungie for info about anti-cheating.
And the link is how to report a player in Destiny from the various platforms.
Epion, on the Season of the Worthy roadmap. When Season of Dawn started off, many of you told us that the roadmap was maybe spoiling a bit too much, and we've already discussed that, and we're done.
Are we though? Is it safe?
No, it's not safe.
It's
so
safe.
To close us out, we haven't. I know I've included a couple of videos all throughout the podcast, but Cheese Forever has got quite a few videos this week that he's put together. He's got the best glitches compilation video, which is quite interesting, and then Respawn actually posted a Cheese Forever video in our chat and pointed out there's a Titan glitch for an infinite super invincibility kind of thing. And there's two.
It uses the supers, damage resistance.
Supers, swords, and things. Yeah. It's really interesting. There's two videos. There's one how to do it, and then there's one where you can kind of use it. So there's two different videos for that.
But
there's also...
if you're gonna do it, please don't do it in PvP. I mean, be a decent freaking human being, okay? Do not do it in PvP because you can, but don't.
There's also a video for the Whisper White Nail perk, which is activating on 2 shots rather than 3, and there's a way around that. And he also has an Acreus, the heavy shotgun that you can get from the Leviathan quest for infusion. So he's got a kind of tip for that for next season. So there's the cool Cheese Forever ones. I also mentioned the cool guy that I'll put in the notes. And a quick tip for next season, when we do launch into the new season, for the first season we got the artifact on the season pass, but last season we actually got it after we finished doing the campaign or the first couple of story missions. So the tip from me is do the story missions, get your artifact, and then if you've been saving bounties, turn the bounties in after that, so then you can get the XP on your season pass and your artifact at the same time. Don't just kind of go into the game and splurge them on all your characters before you get your artifact, because you want to unlock your artifact just as quick as progressing your season pass. So that's my tip for next season for you guys. Also, we had some clan information and my phone's disappeared. Damn it.
Some people have gnomes. He just has many, many children that steal his stuff.
Is it an email or is it on?
It's on the emails. It's on the Two Titans email. Not half responded to the clan stuff from last season. Not last week, sorry. So while you're looking that up,
it feels like last season.
Yeah. While you're looking that up, Parody, Musical Plant has got back in touch with us on Instagram, and he's responded to Respawn that he said that if you are now on PS4, he invites you to go and play with him. So if you remember his information from last week, which you probably don't, so go listen to the podcast and look up his information. And he says he'll play with you on PS4.
That sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see if I can get through this. So yeah, Not Arf has responded to us. My clan, Saturday Morning Cartoon Kids, is recruiting. We renamed it for that acronym. It is Xbox One, and we're looking for some like-minded, laid-back adults who just enjoy the end game. We would even take Respawn. The only things we ask is you join our Discord and you're active, and I'm not talking every day. Just like, send me a message on Xbox Discord and through the D2 app, and we can send you an invite. So that's NOTARF, NOTARF. Send him an invite, and you can be one of the Saturday Morning Cartoon Kids.
So I'm both thrilled and insulted.
That's literally what he said. I just read what the good people what the good people tell us. So
right, silly biscuit. Don't even take Respawn.
Even take you. I mean, if you're gonna slum it right.
So we hope you all enjoy next season. I hope you all see you in Trials and have good fun with that, and enjoy the game as much as we do.
Yeah. And if you make it through the show this week, look up. It'll either be Parody or No One Responds in Real Life. One of us will be streaming on one of the platforms. We'll put it in Twitter later this week, and we'll figure that out. And you can come and laugh at how bad we play Trials next weekend.
Indeed.
Yes.
And I think, mercifully, finally,
yes,
4 hours after we started this,
you could do it.
We've eventually made it to the end of the show. So thank you. Thank you, wonderful listeners, all 30,000 of you out there that have listened to our show over the last year. Not 30,000 people, but we have 30,000 downloads. So again, thank you for listening to the show. Tell your friends, leave us a review, tell people to listen to us. We appreciate doing the show. We appreciate you listening to us do the show. Even if you have to eventually slog your way through over 4 weeks. We appreciate you.
See, what he doesn't realize is it is 30,000 people because they listen to our show one time, give up, and then somebody else listens.
And say never again. Which is fair too. Or just Night Demon's Child listening to it over and over again on Alexa. Our Alexa plays are actually 29,000 of those, so we appreciate you.
Yeah.
But thank you as always.
Yeah, saying that, Alexa, open any pod, subscribe to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. I'm out.
Did you made the Alexa do that?
All right. Please let us know if your Alexa has inexplicably subscribed to our podcast, because Night Demon is a sneaky, sneaky boy. And thank you, good people, for joining us this week. Your Titans are Parody and Night Demon. Your Hunter is No One Responds in Real Life. Email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, especially if you have a clan to tell us about or some feedback to leave us. You can hit up the show on twotitans_hunter on Twitter, Instagram at twotitansandahunter, and on Facebook. You can find the Frozen clan at join.frozen.party. That's Frozen with a 0. You can find all your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live, PC, and PS4. Still no Stadia. Watch the show with our terrible, terrible gameplay on YouTube. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere you can find a podcast to listen to, especially your Alexa. And please, gentlemen, this week, if our unknown ally is Varix or Mithrax, who do you join? Who do you join to battle in our fight against the Warmind?
I'm going to go with Varix.
Yes.
I don't like it. Oh, that one?
I love how it was an A-B choice and you chose D.
Yeah, no.
Who is saying that?
Clearly, he's been in this room way too long.
I don't like it.
No, that's not Darwin. That's evolution. Never mind.
Yes. No. Maybe. No idea.
Who cares? Moving on.
No, hang on.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not playing in here. No, you're not.
She disagrees.
I like that kind of attitude, you're not.
Yeah, right? But what if I really wanted to? Like, really, really wanted to?
Daddy.
Yeah.
You two can shut up. I can still hear you.